Have you ever really thought about the company behind your insurance policy? You know, where they're from or if they're even legally supposed to be operating where you live? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and classify these financial travelers. And trust me, what you find out might just surprise you.
So let's think about it like this. Is your insurance company a local who knows the neighborhood, a tourist just passing through from another state, or maybe an international visitor from another country? Now, this isn't just a fun little analogy. It's actually the key to understanding how the entire insurance industry is structured and, more importantly, regulated. All right, first things first. Before any insurer can even think about doing business, they need permission. This brings us to our first major classification, their legal right to operate in your state. You can think of it as their official work permit. It's a really simple but absolutely crucial concept. A company can't just, pop up and start selling insurance policies wherever they want. By law, they have to get a license from that state's Department of Insurance. And this is a massive consumer protection measure. So the official lingo for an insurer who has this license is an authorized or admitted insurer. It means they've been vetted by your state, they've been checked out, and they've been given what's called a certificate of authority. This certificate is basically their golden ticket, their official stamp of approval to do business. So what does this actually mean for you? Well, it's a huge deal. An authorized insurer is backed by your state's guarantee funds. That's a safety net that protects you if the company goes belly up. An unauthorized or non-admitted insurer, they don't have that backing. And that means fewer protections and, let's be honest, a much higher risk for you, the policyholder. But what about those really unique, high-risk things that regular insurers just won't touch? Think about insuring a huge rock concert or maybe a priceless piece of art. That's where surplus lines insurance comes in. It's a special, heavily regulated market where those non-admitted insurers can step in, but only when you can't find coverage from any authorized company. Okay, so we've checked their work permit. Now, let's take a look at their passport. Every single insurance company has a legal domicile. That's the state or the country where they're officially incorporated. This is their home base. And this whole home base idea is broken down into 3 really distinct categories. These labels tell you pretty much everything you need to know about a company's origins. Now, the names for these categories might sound a little weird, but they're very specific. An insurer is classified as either domestic, foreign, or alien. So let's break down what each of those actually means. Okay, so check this out. It makes it super clear. If an insurer is set up in your state, let's say Oklahoma, and it does business in Oklahoma, it's a domestic insurer. Simple enough, right? But if that same company, XYZ Insurance of Oklahoma, goes to do business in Texas, then in Texas, it's considered foreign. And if an insurer from, say, Canada, like RST Insurance, operates in Oklahoma, it's classified as alien. See, it's all relative to where they're conducting business. All right, you've got the concepts down. Let's put this knowledge to the test with a couple of real-world examples, because this is where geography can sometimes make things a little bit tricky. This is such a perfect illustration of the rule. Because Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, an insurance company from there is considered foreign when it's operating in a state like Florida. It's from out of state, but not out of country. But an insurer from Tokyo is obviously incorporated outside the U.S., so when it operates in Florida, it's an alien insurer. It all comes down to the legal jurisdiction where the company was born. Okay, so we've gone through all these licenses and home bases, but you might be thinking, why does any of this actually matter to me when I'm just trying to get a good rate on my car insurance? Well, it matters a whole lot more than you might think. Knowing these classifications tells you exactly who is regulating your insurer. Is it your state, another state, or some international body? And that directly determines if you're protected by those critical state guarantee funds we talked about earlier. At the end of the day, it just helps you understand the legal structure and the origin of the company you are literally trusting with your financial security. So, the next time you look at your insurance policy, you're going to see it in a totally new light. You'll know to check if they're authorized in your state. You'll understand what it means if they're domestic, foreign, or alien. And that really just leaves one final question for you. Have you actually ever checked your own insurance passport? Maybe it's time you did.